Hello there and welcome to my channel. Today's topic is about how to enhance your feminine side through a bunch of tips and tricks that personally have helped me a lot in this journey of getting more feminine. I also think it's highly important to understand this distinction between femininity and masculinity, especially nowadays in our postmodernistic society when everything is overlapped and intertwined and you cannot make distinction between what is masculine and what is feminine. Of course, what I'm going to tell you now is viewed through the lenses of my own experience, so it's not an absolute truth, of course. But if you feel like vibing with my kind of content and my kind of energy, then welcome, welcome again. So let's dive in. Okay, first tip, posture. I cannot stress this enough, but posture is so important, not only in enhancing your femininity, but also in boosting your confidence. Of course, here we're talking about the kind of powerful femininity, that kind of feminine energy that exudes confidence, that knows her value, knows her worth, and is there to inspire just by standing straight. I'm sure that you've seen people, both men and women, that stay hunchbacked. And I'm also sure that the signals that you received from those people are the opposite of confidence. But on the other hand, when you have seen a woman standing tall with the right posture, maybe you felt attracted to that kind of woman, of course not in a sexual way, but in a way that leads you to want to know them and want to learn from them. Magnetic way. Makeup and dress up. I used to be told that makeup is an artificial tool that is used only to impress the others. I remember that ever since I was a child, I have had this kind of aesthetic feeling within me. I remember one particular day when I was changing 4 or 5 outfits because I couldn't decide which one made me look more beautiful, and I was staying at home, so I wasn't going anywhere. So nowadays that I'm an adult and nobody can tell me how should I dress and how should I make up or when to do that, I've reincorporated the habit of taking care of my appearance even when I'm home. The thing is, we should dress up for ourselves, not as a mechanism of impressing the others. I'm not telling you to wear high heels when you're cleaning the toilet. I'm just suggesting that you could dress up with an intention of aesthetic, of looking good, even if you're on your own sofa. I know that everybody either chooses to wear pajamas or sport items. Well, I'm telling you something else. Try picking up a beautiful, light-weighted material that not only makes you feel comfortable, but also makes you feel beautiful and feminine. Also, if you're living with your partners, let me tell you this, they are gonna be even more impressed and they will appreciate this gesture. Wear red lipstick at your home, put on that mascara, try that dress even if you stay on your sofa. Some conventions are there to be broken. Number 3, physical activity. You know how before the monopoly of technology, people used to be more physically active. For instance, they had to go to the post office to send a message, they had to go physically to university before online classes, and if we're making a mental exercise of going even further back in history, people had to hunt for their food. And hunting for food required a lot of physical mobility. Of course, thank God, this is not the case anymore. I mean, now we can choose if we want to go physically to the office or we want to work remotely, which is great, but somehow we've disconnected from our bodies. And being feminine is not only in your mind, but also in your whole body. It requires your physical body. Being aware of your fingers, your wrists, your arms, your belly, your legs, moving them with grace could make a distinction between feminine and less feminine. Maybe you could consider joining a Pilates class or dancing class would be even better. So you might not only move your body, but also interact with other women, so we can all exponentiate your feminine energy. Number 4, rituals. Again, Nowadays, secular world has removed a lot of ancient rituals that played a very significant role in the process of one's becoming. Some of them are still kept, like the party of turning 18th in Europe. When you turn 18, you're considered an adult. Or the marriage party, okay, because you change your status from single person to a married one. Another beautiful example takes place in Latin America, and I'm talking here about quinceañera, which is a party for 15 years old girls that marks a new borderline, enhancing the awareness of life. It's very beautiful. But the number of these rituals is so small nowadays. Many others are no longer practiced, so it is in our own responsibility to reactivate the behavior of having rituals. And when I say rituals, yes, I also mean having a routine. For instance, in the morning, a routine might be to take some 15 or 20 minutes for yourself to write some thoughts in your journal, some intentions for your upcoming day. Also, during evening, another example of ritual might be getting a massage or reading or meditating, or again, writing in your journal some thoughts about how your day was, what you did good, what you could improve. Another great ritual that I've started implemented since I've finished a book called In the Flow is to be more indulgent with myself during period. And by this I mean relaxing, sleeping in a little bit more, taking a break if I can, taking a nap again if I can, just being more indulgent with myself. Number 5, read and watch movies that depict strong female characters. This is another great tool of getting in touch with your feminine energy. Having a role model is so important because it gives you a sort of mapping. It helps you orient better into what you want to become or into what you don't want to become. For instance, I like a lot movies with Audrey Hepburn, Rita Hayworth, Caitriona Balfe, Meryl Streep. And when it comes to books, well, I very much love Jane Eyre, Pride and Prejudice, Wuthering Heights, very, very strong character, Catherine there. I also very much enjoy biographies. For instance, currently I'm reading the biography of Frida Kahlo, and I enjoy it very much because it shows me the path, her path, which was not necessarily an easy one. She had a very difficult life with many physical accidents, and yet she managed to stand still and to be artistic and to have the name that she has today. So biographical books and movies are a must in order to get to know yourself better. Another recommendation would be books that use a meta-discourse about femininity. So I'm not talking necessarily about self-help books because they can be a little bit tricky, but more specialized books in clinical psychology or psychoanalytics. And for this I also have an example called this is a book written by Pincola Estes called Women Who Run with the Wolves. Very great book, read it. And number 6, the final step, is knowing your value, knowing your worth. This is mandatory during your journey of getting more feminine, because you can be just feminine and that's it, dot. No, you need a background for your femininity. Maybe you're a great baker, or maybe you tell awesome jokes, or maybe you write great poetry. You must be aware of all of your qualities and integrate them within you. Of course, you must not forget to be modest and not taking too much pride in it. It is a difference between being aware of your abilities and taking pride in them. So don't forget to make the distinction between them. Well, that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed these advices and maybe you will start implementing them in your life. And I would be so glad to hear how they changed your journey to your feminine side. See you next time. Bye bye.